Welcome back to another episode of the Fanatics Forum, where the fans can get that real sports talk. And just really quick, can you like this video, share it, and leave a comment so I can keep giving you guys this fresh sports content? So today, we have a very controversial topic, and I just have to say that it's my opinion, so don't come at me. And just because you disagree, and if you do disagree or agree, drop a comment and let me know why. So, through week 10, who can we say is the best quarterback in the NFL? My list likely will shock you, but it's okay. I've been known to go against the grain. So, for me, when it comes to being the best quarterback, I think it's just way too lazy to assume that whoever has the best record at the time is the best quarterback. And the reason I believe that is because winning is ultimately a team accomplishment. A quarterback can have all the numbers in the world and break every record in the book. But again, if the defense, the special teams don't show up, then you'll only just lose games. But of course, in order to be a top quarterback, you have to have at least a decent record. And when games are close, come through for your team. It's not just who has the highest stats or I'm just winning all the time. And also, a common issue I see is when people evaluate top quarterbacks, they look at their past year or they're making a previous projection of a guy because of what he did in the past. An example of this is Josh Allen. Can we really say that Josh Allen is a top five quarterback in the NFL after the season that he's having this year? He leads the NFL in interceptions. And since I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm always told that Dak Prescott can't be a top 10 quarterback because of his turnover issues that he had for only 1 year last year. And the media told everyone up and down that Josh Allen, who had the same amount of interceptions as Dak did last year, was far better. And basically, that his interceptions didn't matter, but Dak's did? That's just crazy to me. So now when we see Josh Allen trending down, I don't know why everyone is acting so surprised. If he is consistently throwing a lot of interceptions since he entered the league, why would you expect him to all of a sudden change that? He's a gunslinger. And in the NFL, the more you force the throw, the higher chance that you'll throw a pick, which will put your team in a more difficult situation when they're trying to win. Also, if you look at Josh Allen's career, we can say that his numbers started trending up because of Stephon Diggs. His own brother, Trayvon Diggs, who plays for the Cowboys, said it himself. So Josh Allen didn't become a better thrower of the football. He just got better weapons. And those weapons help mask Josh Allen's deficiencies. And with the help of the media, they made you think that he was a lot better than he really was or really is. But enough of that. Let's get into the topic of discussion. These are my top five quarterbacks through week 10. At number five, we have Jared Goff. And I know some of y'all thinking, how can you put Jared Goff top five in the NFL? Well, out of all the quarterbacks on my list up to this point, he has the most passing yards at 2,507, only has five interceptions up to this point, and he's clearly leading a 7-2 Lions team that no one really expected would be this good at this point of the season. Yes, he had a bad loss to the Ravens, but he has bounced back with that Raiders win, and he just went crazy on the Chargers. He's not getting the respect he deserves, especially after we see the demise of Matthew Stafford when he doesn't have a super team around him. Goff deserves a spot, in my opinion. The next quarterback I've ranked at number 4 on my list is actually two players. I have Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. And I know I sound crazy because everyone will tell you these guys are arguably number 1 and 2. But let me tell you why that isn't true. Well, for Joe Burrow, it was obvious at the start of the season something was off. He started off real rocky, and the Jamar Chase connection just wasn't there at the beginning of the season. And I don't know if that was because of some lingering injuries or whatever, but he just didn't look like Joe Cool. And also, the offense was just struggling in general to score. But as of late, his yardage has been trending up, and he might be coming back. But as things are right now, I just can't put him higher on my list until he shows more consistency going into the playoffs. Because because going forward, especially with the Bengals, they could possibly miss the playoffs. And as a top quarterback making that much money, the top money, you can't miss the playoffs. Now for Patrick Mahomes. Yes, he is a great quarterback. But let's be honest, this season he's been average. The media would tell you that he has no wide receivers, or the defense isn't good, or every excuse that you can make. But realistically, if you watch the Chiefs games, it's obvious that the refs are giving them a little bit too much love, if you know what I mean. And even with that, the offense just doesn't look that good. Yes, he threw for 404 against the Chargers, but Kansas City looks like the shakiest team out of all the NFL teams, or all of the top NFL teams to me. And I'm willing to say that the Chiefs could be one and done in the playoffs if they don't figure out some of the little issues that are holding them back. Just watching the Chiefs, I don't know how people can say that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback right now. Just my opinion, but being the best team in the AFC doesn't, or the best record, having the best record in the AFC, doesn't automatically make you the best quarterback. At number 3, we have Jalen Hurts. And I can tell up to this point, y'all are mad at me and probably think I'm crazy because only so many quarterbacks can be the last two. But in this instance, the reason I put Jalen over Goff, Burrow, and Mahomes is the consistency in the offense and the fact that I believe the NFC is a better division compared to the AFC. But I will say Jalen can easily slide down the list because for me, their season starts week 11. They have the Chiefs, 49ers, Bills, Dallas again, and Seattle left on their schedule. And if they can win most of those games and Jalen can perform at a higher level, then he easily has to be number 1. But up to this point, the reason I don't have him in the top 2 is because strictly as a passer, I don't see him being the best quarterback. If not for the run game, the rushing touchdowns, and that rugby play that can't be stopped, the Eagles would be down bad. But I can't admit that without him, the Eagles would be terrible. But the fact that they had to get him Julio Jones should tell you that they don't believe in his ability to throw third and long or to come from behind to win games if they need to throw to win by a touchdown. But I have more confidence going into the game with Jalen Hurts at quarterback as opposed to the other 3 that I have ranked below him. Now at number 2, the most controversial pick. But I don't care, and you might not want to admit it, but it is what it is. Coming at number 2 is Dak Prescott. Yes, I said it, Dak Prescott. He has been playing at an elite level without a quote unquote elite wide receiver. Not my words.
CD been overrated?
If you think he's a bona fide, hey, line up out there one, then yeah, that's overrated because
And I do.
There are number ones in the league. So you're saying he's in a conversation with Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown, Cooper Kupp, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, and Mike Evans. You're saying he's in that conversation?
Yes, in the conversation.
Then you're not watching.
So without an elite receiver and the numbers that Dak is putting up, you just got to admit that he's right there. And the reason you can't fathom that is because you're being told every day that he's trash or being carried by a defense or he can't throw downfield. But every game, he proves those narratives wrong. He is an elite quarterback. But remember, you hate the Cowboys. So in turn, everything is Dak's fault. The guy doesn't have an interception problem like they told you last year. And he deserves his contract. Remember, he is single handedly carrying the Cowboys with half the talent that these other quarterbacks have, plus an owner that doesn't even try to get him more offensive weapons to win. Dak has to do it all in order to even the games to be close. And all he can ask for is the defense to not sell or for the offensive line to just hold up so he can win the game. And yes, even if you watch the Eagles game, Dak was better than Jaylen that day by far. And that's not to say that Jaylen is trash, but you can't watch both quarterbacks and say that Jaylen is better just because of the record. Dak is playing at an elite level, but like everybody else, he needs to maintain that level of play to stay at his spot. Because if he doesn't, just like everyone else, if he falters, then you have to move him down. So now the top quarterback on my list. Going into week 11, the number one quarterback in the NFL is Mr. Lamar Jackson. And yes, at this point in time, I believe he is the best quarterback in the NFL. And I think they can easily lock up the division with another win against the Bengals tonight. And his dual threat ability, along with now the Ravens finally getting him weapons, can make Lamar super dangerous down the stretch. Yes, they lost to Cleveland recently, but I believe I give quarterbacks a pass for losing to a good defense as long as they're not consistently losing and if they're not in playoff contention. Lamar's ability to extend plays is very dangerous for defenses, but it's also risky too because you're going to get hit a lot more than just someone that is consistently in the pocket. So if he can stay healthy, continue to win, and perform at a high level with that defense as well, I'd take Lamar to win over any other team in the AFC. Just with his running ability, he poses a matchup nightmare for everyone. And that's just his running ability alone. So for me, Lamar's the top quarterback on my list in the NFL right now. But again, that's just my opinion. Thank you so much for watching today's episode here at the Fanatics Forum, the sports podcast where we give you that real sports talk from the fans' perspective. I'm your host, Mecca Mike, and don't forget to follow me on X, aka Twitter, Instagram, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel so I can keep giving you this unfiltered content. Thank you again, and see you next time. I'm out.